Hakadosh Boker Tov, we're going to continue on Yutet Amud Aleph, 19a1. We are on V'amar Rabbi Yirmiyah ben Elazar, the first line. V'amar Rabbi Yirmiyah ben Elazar, it says Rabbi Yirmiyah ben Elazar, look that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not like a human being. What does that mean? Midah b'sav adam, a human being. Mitchayev adam hariga lemalchut. If a person is going to be obligated death penalty to malchut, to the kingdom, matilin lo chaka letoch piv, they put a piece of wood in his mouth, right, in order that his mouth should be that he can't talk. In order that he's not going to curse the king. But if he's going to be chayav hariga to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what is he going to do? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to punish him with the death penalty, shotek. Right? He's not going to come and he's not going to go against Hashem. Shneimar, lecha dumiyah tihila, lecha Hashem dumiyah, which means she'akol shotkin lefanecha ve'emitam nedecha. Nobody's going to go against you. Velo od, and not only that, ela meshabeach. He's going to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why? Shneimar, but it says in the pasuk, tehila, lecha dumiyah tehila. Velo od, and not only that, it's as if that he's bringing a korban. Shneimar ulcha yishulam nader. Right? What does that mean? He's going to bring a neder, which is a korban, like korban nedava. So says the Gemara, "Ve'hainu de'amar b'shom Levi." That's what b'shom Levi says. What does that mean? This pasuk? It says overe elu b'nei adam shovrim al retzono shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The word overe are people that transgress, that they go against the words of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Be'emek, what is the emek? In the depths, shema'amikin lahem geinam, that they deepen for them the geinam. What is habacha? What is habacha? Shebochinu muridin demaot kemayan shel shitin. They start coming and crying, just like mayan shitin, which means just like the base, just like the halal amok, which is very, very deep underneath the mizbeach. What is gam berachot temureh? Shematztikim et adin. They justify on themselves the judgment. And they say in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ribono shel olam, yafeh danta. It's good the way that you judged. Yafeh zikita. It's good that you were making the zakah. Yafeh chiyavta. It's good that you made chayav. Yafeh tikanta geinam l'shivim gan eden tzadikim. It was good that you make geinam for the reshaim and gan eden for the tzadikim. So says the Gemara, any is it so? V'amar Shmuel Lakish says Shmuel Lakish reshaim afilu apitcho shel geinam enam chozi b'tshuva. The reshaim, even at the entrance of geinam, they're not doing teshuvah. Shneimar, but says in pasuk yatzu v'ra'u pigvrei anashim haposhim bi. Go out and see all these the bodies of these anashim which they go against me. Shepashu le'neimar. It doesn't say shepashu, ela poshim, that they continue doing it. Pashu is in the past tense. Poshim is that they're continuing doing it now. Sheposhim ve'olchim le'olam, that they do it even after they die. Meaning these reshaim, even after death, they continue sinning. So therefore the question is that even in the entrance of Geinam, they're still going to be doing it. What does it mean that they're metztikim et alem et adin? So says the Gemara, la kashya, there's no question. Ha beposhei Yisrael, veha poshei avdei chochavim. By poshei Yisrael, they are metztikim et adin. That means a rasha, poshei Yisrael, he's metztik alav et adin. However, though, by the rasha, the poshei of the kochavim, even in the entrance of Geinam, he's not going to do teshuvah. Yutet Amud Aleph towards the middle of the page. Okay, Hachinam Misabra, it's also logical. Dimken bez if so, Kasha de Resh Lakish, you have a contradiction between Resh Lakish and Resh Lakish. Yeah, so he says, Da'amar Resh Lakish, but says Resh Lakish, Poshei Yisrael en ur Geinam sholet bahen. Poshei Yisrael, the fire of Geinam does not actually consume them. Meaning, Poshei Yisrael, fire doesn't get them. Kavachomer from the Mizbach Hazav, from the golden Mizbeach. Remember, the Mizbach HaZahav was the one which was on the inside. Okay, the outside one was Mizbach HaNechoshet. The inside one was Mizbach HaZahav, the golden Mizbach. Ma Mizbach HaZahav Shen Alav Ke'ovi Dinar Zahav. Just like the Mizbach Alav, right, Mizbach HaZahav, it does not have only the thickness of a Dinar Zahav, and still Aman Kama Shanim V'lo Shotabu Or, and it still stayed many, many years in the fire, did not consume it, right? So Poshei said, look at Poshei said that they are filled of mitzvot like a rimon, like a pomegranate. Shneimar kifel harimon rakatech, v'mishum nagah filo tikre rakatech rekatech. Shafilu rekanim shebach, even the empty ones of Bnei Yisrael, leimitzot karimon, they are filled of mitzvot karimon. Halacha kama v'chama, so then all the more so, it should be the same way. Okay, so basically the question is, how could it be they're filled of mitzvot? So therefore, for sure, the fire of Geinam is not going to consume them. Elahad dichtiv, but rather that which is written. Overe b'mekabacha. What does that mean? Overe b'mekabacha. It says, "Hahu temichai ve'ayi shata b'geinam." Right, they are going to be obligated for that moment geinam, and then right? What's going to happen is, Ati Avram Avinu will come, and Masik lehu mekabel lehu, and he'll take them out. Bar mi Israel, shebal bat ove kochavim. These are powerful words. Are you listening? A bar Yisrael, a Jew that has relations with a Goya, temashcha orlato. So since he went inside of her, his orla gets pulled out. That means basically a guy lives with a Goya. Velo mevak shaleh. Avram Avinu doesn't recognize that he's a Jew, so he doesn't take him out. Yeah, these are powerful words. Yeah, these are words that you understand. Why? Because people don't understand that. They think, big deal. Like, what's a big deal? No. Avram Avinu doesn't recognize him. He's not a Jew. He looks at him, this is not one of hers. Leaves him there, right? To burn, right? In hell. Powerful.
Different opinions of that.
Huh?
Different opinions of that.
Gemara Mefudeshet, who argues?
Yeah, but there are other Gemara that is better to be with the Goya than with the Yehudiya.
Why? Why would it be? Hold on one second. So says the Gemara, Matkifla Rav Kahana. So Rav Kahana comes and he asks the following question. Hashta damarta poshim de pashi ve'azli. Now that you're going to say, he says, now that you're going to say that pashi ve'azli, what does that mean? Haposhim continue doing sins and they continue going. Ela me'ata, we're going to ask the following question. Dichtiv, hamotzi v'ma'aleh. What does it mean, hamotzi v'ma'aleh? Hamotzi, we're talking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu's motzi otanu me'eretz Yisrael. Hama'aleh, what is a ma'aleh? Temasiku d'mapik hu. What does that mean? Does it mean that the Ketuvim is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to still come and take them out of Mitzrayim? For sure not. Ela da'asik v'apik, but rather he first takes us out by she'ela ve'otzi ba'avar, in past tense. Hachinami de pashehu. So too, it's the poshim, even though it uses the terminology of poshim that we thought meant in the future, meaning like in the present, in the future, it's really also in the past. So therefore, right, there's no proof according to the meaning. There's no proof according to the Shakish that Be'emet they're still continuing to sin even in the entrance of Geina. Okay, so now it says over here, the Amar Yirmiyah ben Elazar says Yirmiyah ben Elazar, Shlosha ptachim yesh Geinam. There's 3 entrances of Geinam. Echad b'midbar, echad b'yam, echad b'Yerushalayim. One entrance is in the desert. One entrance is in the sea, and one entrance is in Yerushalayim. B'midbar dichtiv vayeredu ha'em b'chol asher lahem chaim she'ola. That they went down to Geinam, and that was in the desert. So the entrance is in the desert. B'yam dichtiv mi beten she'ol shivati. What does that mean? Shamata koli. Which means that he was screaming. This is Yonah Navi. When he was swallowed up, so the Petach of Geinam is also in the middle of the sea. Yerushalayim dichtiv, Neum Hashem asher ur, lo betzion, etanu lo b'Yerushalayim, etanu dvel b'Yishmael, she'ur lo betzion zo Geinam, etanu Yerushalayim ze pticha shel Geinam. The entrance of Geinam, so you see that also in the Yerushalayim. So says the Gemara, v'tuleka, what, there's no other entrances? Sure, I'm sure, listen, there's a lot of people there, you understand? It's not a small place, in a sense. So therefore, right, you need a lot of entrances. What does that mean? So he says, Amar Rabbi Miryon, Amar Bishom Levi, V'amil Netan Rabbi Miryon, Bidvar Rabbi Yochanan Zakai, Shtet Marot yesh bege ben Hinyon. There are 2 different dekalim, palm trees, by the Emek, which is close to Yerushalayim. And there's fire that comes out of it, there's smoke that comes out of it. And that's what it means. That's why he said that even these tikle har barzel are going to be kosher to be gamalulav, and that is the pitcha shel Geinam, right? So says the Gemara, no, maybe that is Yerushalayim. Meaning it's not a 4th one. Maybe that in itself is one of Yerushalayim. It didn't mean Mamash Yerushalayim. It meant right on the outskirts of Yerushalayim, and that's this one. Okay? Anyway, I remember once somebody told one of my Rabbanim, they went and they told him, but what? Everyone does this. What's the problem? So he said, listen, Geinam is a very big place. Yeah, which means that a person should just understand that the concept, you understand, was that behind it is that not because everyone's doing something doesn't mean that you're supposed to do it. We have to go against the flow. Okay? Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi says Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Shiva Shemot yesh Geinam. There are 7 names to Geinam. And these are it. Sheol v'Avadon u'Be'er Shachat u'Bor Shaon v'Tita Yeven v'Tzalma v'Eretz Tachtit. So you have Sheol, Avadon, Be'er Shachat, right? U'Bor Shaon, that's Mayim Boshim, Tita Yeven, Tzalmavet, and Eretz Tachtit. Now the Gemara is going to explain. Sheol dichtiv mi beten shol shivat ishmat tikol, right? That's Sheol. I don't know why I didn't also bring the pasuk from Chaim Sheola. 27. I don't know. Ineni yode'a. I don't have a good answer for that. I don't know. Here it says here that there's 7 different medurim in Ginam. Keneged sheva dargot ha'onesh lenishmat hachet. Each one according to what was the sin. So Eretz HaTachtit is the darga muka v'kashav yoter shel Ginam, like the lower lands. Fine, but I don't have an answer for that. Like I don't know why we brought down this pasuk from Yonah for Sheol is Ginam and not the other one, Chaim Sheola. Avadon dichtiv ha'isupar bekever chastecha, right? Emunatecha ba'avadon. Ber shachat dichtiv kilot hazon ashil lishol yoter chastecha lilot shachat, right? And also we say v'atat toridem ber shachat and shed damim mimenu yichzu mimenu yiftach bach. Beor shaom metita yeven dichtiv v'yalenu mibor shaom metita yeven. Tzalmavet dichtiv yoshevei choshech v'tzalmavet, right? And also גם כי אלך בגט צלמה ולא יראה, כי אתה עמדי צלמה ותסגינם. ארץ תחתית, גמרא הוא, זה מסורת. So says the Gemara, Vetuleka, what about Geinam itself? Geinam is also one name for Geinam. Says the Gemara, right? No, Gai she'amuka kegeinam, she'akol yored la al iskei chinam. Sorry, al iskei hinam. What does that mean? The pirush of the name of Geinam is Gai, which is an emek, which is deep, amuka, Kegeinam, like Geinam. What does that mean, like Geinam? It says it's like Ge ben Hinam, which means Gai, like a Ge, which is like a deep place. Ben Hinam. What is Ben Hinam? The majority of people go down there because of Iske Hinam, Arayot, immorality. Meaning the majority of people go to Geinam because of illicit relation, because of immoral relations. That's what's coming out. So says the Gemara, Ve'aika gamken tofte. So you have the name also tofte. Dichtiv. Ki arucha me'etmol tofte, right? That means basically it was built before the creation of the world. So says the Gemara, no. Hahu shekol mitpateh b'itzor yipol sham. Anybody that's going to be mitpateh, that's going to be seduced by his yetzer hara, he's going to fall there. By the way, it was written a few lines before when it says that there's 7 names for Geinam. There's also 7 names for the yetzer hara. The Gemara in Sukkah says. So therefore, it could be that each one is the form of what the Yetzer Hara does us to make a sin, and according to each one, we get that type of Geinam. Okay? Fine. Gan Eden. Now, at least we have to go to the positive also. Gan Eden. Yeah? Amar Reshakish. Says Reshakish, Im be'eretz Yisrael hu, if it's going to be in Eretz Yisrael, yeah? Bet She'an Petacho. So Bet Shan is the entrance of Gan Eden. Ve'im be'Aravya, if it's going to be in Arabia, Bet Ganem Pitcho, so Bet Ganem is going to be the entrance. Ve'im ben ha'ne'arot hu, and if it's going to be in between the rivers, yeah, Du Maskinan Pitcho be'Bavel. The Maskinan Pitcho, so then the Maskinan is going to be in the entrance. Be'Bavel, if it's going to be in Bavel, Abaye mishtaba b'pered ma'arva yemina. Abaye used to say that it's probably the perot, which are the Ever Deromi of Nar Pirat, of the south of Nehar Pirat, the Euphrates River. Right? Rava Mishtabach bepered Harpanya. He used to say, no, it was a perot of Harpanya. So that's where it was. So basically, it all depends where is Gan Eden. These are the different entrances of where it is. It could be that they're all correct, actually. It's just different entrances. It doesn't actually say anything.
It's important to know.
To know where to make paradise. It doesn't actually say it. Because that's where the fruits are going to be very good. So basically, that's where Gan Eden has to be. Okay, fine. Next.
It's amazing. They call Bet She'an and that is Karov de Yerushalayim. That is by Yericho, and it's also one of the Pitre de Gan Eden, Pitre de Geinam. They're close by because of the Ashan that comes from there.
From there, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Zelu Matze, no? One beside another.
Next to each other.
Next to each other. Yeah. Okay. Next, we said Ubenehen, the 2 dots. We're going back to the Mishnah where it says Ubenehen kimlo shte bakar. So it says the Gemara as follows. Shita, right? It's obvious. Kevin the Tana lehu dikshurot, right? Dikshurot havu. Right? Ananyadina delova mutarot. If you already told me that these animals are going to be tied together, so obviously we know that they're not going to be open. We're talking about, if you remember, the animals which have to be tied together. There was 3 and 3, but then 3 facing one way, 3 facing the other way. Okay? So it says, I would have thought, say, kshurot is ke'en kshurot. It's like they're tied together, but they're not actually tied together. Kamashmanan velo mutaro, which means that they actually are tied together. It's not only just that they're close together, they're actually tied together. Okay? Next, achad nichneset v'achat yotzet. One of them is going in, one of them is going out. Tana, we learned in the Braita, Rivka nichneset v'Rivka yotzet. What does that mean? Rivka is going in and Rivka is going out. Okay?
What does it mean? No?
That the kavanah is not that the parot of that Rivka are going in opposite directions, but rather kol parot shelachat are in one, meaning it's not like this. It's not one animal, one animal, one animal. It's not. 3 animals one direction, and the next one is 3 animals in the other direction. Okay? Tanu Rabbanan.
Drawing. We have it in the drawing.
Yeah, we have it in the drawing there. Okay? Next. Tanu Rabbanan. Kama roshav ruba shel para. We said, if you remember, as long as you have the animal, we needed the head and the majority of the body inside. How much is that? And so the Gemara, 2 amot. The kama uvya shel para. How much is the thickness of the para? Ama u'shnei shlishi ama. 1 1/3 ama. 1 2/3 of the ma. Okay? Yutet amubet. Shehen ke'eser, which is like 10 amot for 6 parot. Because here we add 6 parot. So if you have 6 parot, it's going to be 10. Right? Because 1 2/3 times 6 equals 10. Okay, these are the words of Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, ki 13 ama u14 ama. We're talking about 13 or 14 amot. Ke'eser, what does it mean ke'eser? Ha'eser avian, it is eser. What do you mean ke'eser, like 10 amot? It's not like, it's 10 amot. So it says, we had to learn later on that it's going to be like 13. It wasn't, kishosh is really 13. It's fabian, it's more than 13. So Mishun Dubai Lemitne Karbaisre to do with 14. So it says the Gemara Karbaisre Lov Yair. So it's not really Yabaisre, it's less. So Rav Papa says it's more than 13, but it's less than 14. It's more than 13, but less than 14. Okay, so because of that, we also said like 10, even though it is really 10. Okay? Next, Amar Rav Papa. Rav Papa says, Bevor Shemone de Kulam lo plige de lo bedim shutin. If you have a pit which is going to be 8 amot or less, according to everybody, nobody argues that you do not need these shutin, right? That all you need is diomdim, and that's it. Remember, the diomdim was the corner ones, which goes in 2 directions. The shutin was just a simple piece of wood in the middle. So if it's too big, we said you needed the 4 corners and then in the middle as well, the middles of each side. Here, you don't need it, right? Ubebor shtemesef, if it's going to be 12, you do need the pshutin. When is a machloke? From 8 to 12. According to Rabbi Meir, you need the pshutin. According to Rabbi Yehuda, you don't need the pshutin. Yeah, let me just see when exactly is this picture. No, but we're going back on this one. This one, right? This is, again, these are the yomdins, and this is the pashut. So he said it's going to be 12. According to everybody, you need this, all this, right? Which is the 4 yomdin, 1 corner, 2 corners, 3 corners, 4 corners, and the 4 pshutim, 1 pashut, 2 pashut, 3 pashut, 4 pashut. Now, if it's going to be less than 8, according to everybody, you don't need the pashut. So you get rid of this one, this one, this one, and this one. You only have the 4 corners. The machloke between them now, if this is between 8 to 12, okay? This is the picture that we said, 3 animals to one direction, 3 animals to the other direction. This is where we said that you needed the head and the body. Okay? And then we get to this basically. By Menava. Fine. So says the Gemara. Okay, so I'm Rav Papa, Michael Mashmalan. So what is Rav Papa coming to teach you? We already learned it. So says the Gemara, Rav Papa, Braita lo shmiale. Rav Papa did not learn from the Braita. He didn't hear the Braita. The Kamashmalan ka Braita, and therefore he was trying to teach us like the Braita. Okay? Okay. Next, now we have a siman. Arich yoter betel chitzat chatzer shavsha siman. So we're going to start. Okay, ba minei abai meraba. So this was the picture here. Let me go back to the picture. Okay. Ba minei abai meraba. Yeah, it says Herich b'dimyon kashiur. Oh no, this is the next question. It's not this one. Fine, I apologize. I thought it was this one. It's not this one. Herich b'dimyon kashiur b'pshutin. The Rabbi Meir mahu. What's halacha if instead of adding a amud pashut in the middle, like Rabbi Meir, you just made the diomdim longer on each side? So therefore, there's less of a space in between. According to Rabbi Meir, is that okay? Because he said that you need the pshutim in the middle, or not? Meaning, again, one more time. Let me get the picture. Everyone sees this picture? Here. Instead of putting this pashut here, pashut here, pashut here, pashut here, don't put the pshutim. These yumdim, I extended the wall. Everyone sees the cursor? I extended the wall over here. I extended the wall over here. The same thing here. Extend the wall here, extend the wall here. Same thing here. Extend the wall, extend the wall. Extend the wall basically in all these places. That's the Gemara's question. Okay? So says the Gemara, Amalei, he said, Tinitu, we already learned it. Uvilvad shi'arbe bepasin. When it says you have to be marbe bepasin, isn't it also that you could also be mimayet through adding diomdin, meaning just lengthening them? It says Gemara, no. You have to actually mamash make pshutin. It's not just enough to make longer the diomdin. You have to actually put the pshutin as well. If so, what does it mean? It has to be uvilvad shi'arbe bepasin. Ad shi'arbe bepasin, not uvilvad shi'arbe bepasin. It has to be ad shi'arbe bepasin. Until, because when you say uvilvad, that's what he's saying. When you say ad shi'arbe bepasin, it's mashma shemosif od pasin, and not ad, right, with the bet bepasin. Okay, because that's just mashma that you already have something which is already there, which is yumdim. So it says the Gemara, Tani, you're right. Ad shi'arbe bepasin, ad shi'arbe bepasin, until you're actually going to come and you're going to add it in. Okay, fine. Next, Ika de Amri. There are those that say, Amalei. Rabba comes and he tells Abaye, Tinitua. We already learned it. Vivachi abe bepasin. My love, the mapish ravi bepshutin. Are we not talking about that you come and you are making more pshutin? Says no, the manich diumdin. So this is what we're doing. You're lengthening the diumdin. Hakinam mistabra. It's also logical to say so. Vivachi abe bepasin. Miditanim vivachi abe bepasin. Shbamina. So that it's already just enough to minimize it by adding on to the diumdin. Okay? Abai comes and he asks from Rabba. What happens if it's going to be more than a 13 and a third amot? Right? What do you need to do? According to Rabbi Yehuda, Mahu. Pshutin avid of diomdin marich. Is it enough just to add pshutin? Or do you need to extend the diomdin? Samalei, he says, we already learned it. Kama hen mekuravin. How close are the pasim? In order that the rosh rubosh para. Kama, how much is that? Meruchakim. Afilu kor, even a kor or even a koraim. If Rabbi Yehuda says, I bet time mutar, I more than bet time is going to be asur. Amrulo Rabbi Yehuda, they told Rabbi Yehuda, iya tamodeh bedinar, right, bedir v'sahar, of an animal, muktzeh v'chatzer, shafilu bet chameshet korim, vafilu bet asarat korim, shemutar, that is going to be permitted. Well, you don't agree with this. Amalei, he told them, zu mechitza v'elu pasin. One is a mechitza, one is pasin, which means there's going to be a difference between a mechitza and pasin. Okay, you cannot compare the two cases. Dir v'sahar or muktzeh v'chatzer are going to be mutar, even if they're going to be very, very big, because they have 3 full mechitzot. But paseh biraot are not mechitzot, so therefore they're only pasim ktanim. So therefore, in such a case, it's not going to be good enough. If it's going to be more than betzah time. V'imhita, now if you're going to tell me this, zo mechitza v'zo mechitza mi baile. Both of them are different mechitzot. So hachi kama, this is what it means to say. Torat mechitza alea, right? This one has Torah mechitza, or pirtzotea be'eser, and it has 10 amot of a pirtza, an opening. And this one, Torah pasin alein, upitzutem b'13, right? Okay? So, Ba'mine, Abai ben Rabba. Abai comes and he asks Rabba, Tel amitlaket, asara mitoch arba'a. So this is now the picture. Here you have it, you see? Ba'mine Abai ben Rabba, Tel amitlaket, asara mitoch arba'a. Nidon mishum diomed, or nidon mishum diomed. Look, here you have the picture of, let me move this. Here, this is the biraot. Remember, this is the well in the middle, and you've got the diumdin, which are the 4 pillars, the 4 corners. One of the 4 corners, you have a mount of dirt. Now, it's got 10 tfachim height, and in the 10 tfachim height, you have the 4 amot. Okay? That means it goes up 4 amot until you get the 10 tfachim height, right? So now the question that we ask ourselves is that a diomed or not? Do you consider this like a corner or not? You see the picture, John? 10 tfachim, 4 amot. Okay? Is that considered a diomed or not? So says the Gemara, yeah? Amalei, he said, Tinitu, we already learned it. Bishumam Lazar Omer, Bishumam Lazar says, Haita Sham Even Merubat. If you have an Even Merubat, okay? Right? Yeah. Roin Kol She'ilu Techalek. We're going to look at it as if you're going to divide it, right? That it's still going to be like a resh, okay? V'yesh ba ama lekam ve'ama lekan, and it's got an ama here and ama there. Yeah, so what happens? It's going to be mishum diomed. And if not, it's not going to be a diomed. So you look at a resh. That's what you have here. Look, this is the stone. So you have a resh in the center. For the same thing here, a resh in the center, right? But this is chokekin and this is cholkin. We're going to see now. Haitasham even agula. So this was the first one, the even merubat, right? You're looking here. Even merubat. I look that there's a resh here. If there's a resh here, and I've got an ama and an ama, that's already considered good. Now it's the next one. This is the even agula. So in such a case, even agula, I'm going to go chakika. This one is cholkin, we divide it. This is chakika, I have to engrave it inside of it. Right? V'techalek. V'yesh ba'ama lekan ve'ama lekan, and I got an ama here, like a resh. Right? Nidom mishum diomed. If lav, it's not going to be considered a diomed. Okay? What is the machloket between them? More savar chad ro'in amninan, trei ro'in lo amninan, more savar afilu trei ro'in am amninan. One of them says that you only say one ro'in. The other opinion says we say even trei ro'in. What does that mean? Here we are ro'in ke'ilu, right? We look at it as if. This looking at it as if, here in our case, you have to do it twice. One for the Even Merubat and one for the Even Ogulah. One for the round one, that's over here. I'm going back up here. One for the round one and one for the square one. So therefore, these are the true diomdin, right? This is the diomdin. Here, I'm looking ke'ilu. So since I'm looking ke'ilu, the machlok between them is, according to one of them, I only say it on one. According to the other one, I could even say it on two, because here you have two different ones, on two different avanim. Okay? So says the Gemara, Abaye comes and he asks from Rabba, chitzat kanim, right? These are the chitzat kanim, the reeds, as a mechitza. You have them here. Okay? Kaneh, right? That's what he says. Kaneh, pachom mishosha. So is this considered diomed or not? This is the chitzat kanim. Is this considered diomed or not?
It could be.
Okay? These are the reeds coming up. Okay? So says the Gemara, Amalei, he told them, Tinitu, we learned it. Hayasham ilano gadero chitzat kanim, nidam mishum diomed. Look, this is the ilan, the tree. Chitzat kanim, the gader. It's going to be, right? It's going to be okay. My love, kaneh, kaneh, pachom mishra. We're not talking about here that it's going to be less than 3 tfachim each one. Says the Gemara, lo, gudrita dekani. This one. Gudrita dekani, it says over here, it's like a gader kanim, which means that it's like a type of a thing that it has a whole bunch of reeds, one after another, but they're all close together. It's not like over here that they're separated. It's this one. So says the Gemara, Yachi, if so, I knew learn. So then that's like, it's like a tree. So says the Gemara, Ve'lamai kaneh, kaneh, what do you mean kaneh? Kaneh, pachom mishusha, hainu gader, it's like a gader. Elamai lechol, what are you going to say? Trei gavne gader, there are two different types of gader. Hachanami, so too here. Trei gavne ilan, there's going to be two types of ilan. There's the thick tree over here, and then there's the ilan, the gudanti, this one, kudrita. Yeah, there are two different types, kudrita. Okay? So says the Gemara, some people say, gudrita de kakani baile, this gudrita de kanemai. What about the gudrita de kani? Okay? So he says the Gemara, right? The kanimai, amalei, tilitua, he said, we learned it. Hayasham gadero ilano chitzakanim. My love, the gudad de kani. We're not talking about gudad de kani. Says the Gemara, no, kaneh kaneh pachom mishosha. We're talking about this case of kaneh kaneh pachom mishosha. So basically, now this ikadamre flipped it around. We're talking about this case, a chitzat kanim. So says the Gemara, yachiv. So hainu gader. So then it's like a gader. Ve'elamai, but rather, my gudin de kani. Hainu ilan. It's like an ilan. Elamai lechamem. So what are you going to say exactly? So says the Gemara, kafel mudalef. Trei gavne ilan. There are two different types of ilan. a thick one, and the gudat de kani achanami. So to here, the two types of gader. The first one is a regular gader, and then you have the other case of the gader as well. And we continue Bezrat Hashem tomorrow with the Daf of Shabbat. Exactly.
Chazak Baruch, thank you.